Hey y'all, what's up? I'm here to speak to you, the people that clicked on the video for the title reason. Sorry. If you are a person who feels overly criticized, overly worked, overly talked about, overly attacked, the black sheep, you don't fit in, this is for you. And you know what? To be honest, sorry, you might be. And I'm just here to tell you, like, I've been there. Like, it's been me before. Like, I understand. I can relate. You try to give love and you're laughed at. People don't want to take your love. They take your kindness for weakness. And you're talked about. You're ridiculed. It happens. And don't get me wrong. I've actually realized I've been the other person on the other end before at some point in my life to where I attack people or I did this, because I feel like anybody can be used for lifting somebody up or tearing somebody down. It just depends on what mind space you're in and whatever. Then you realize you don't really need the people around you like you think you do, and you realize you may be more powerful than you realize. And I'm just here to talk about that and my journey and my trials and tribulation, because if you knew me years ago, I was the quiet one. I was the sweet one, the innocent one. But now, not so much. I mean, I used to get laughed at, talked about, still do, and don't care. So I've definitely have overcome. I've definitely changed. And it could be hard. It could be tough. You know, going through life, realizing you that black sheep, or you that person who doesn't fit in, or you the person that's always the brunt of the joke. It can be very hard. But then you got to realize, if you wasn't so powerful, if you wasn't so magnificent, it wouldn't take that many people to tear you down. So you also got to celebrate. You also got to think about it. Okay, I'm a special person. That's why I'm getting these talks about. That's why I'm getting attacked. That's why people are trying to bring me down or take my light away or turn me dark. So then you start realizing, oh, wow, I got more power and control than I think I do. I know how to play the game. I know how to run the plays. And then you start to run them, and it starts to change your life a little bit. And that's probably kind of how my spiritual journey has been. My spiritual journey has been over a couple years, meaning I've just started looking into different things about life, questioning things, asking questions, talking to God, finding myself, trying to figure out why things are so. And it's really helped me become a stronger, more powerful person. And I could see why people mad. I could see why people try to single me out or overlook me, because we're not on the same level. We're not on the same playing field. And I'm not to really be played with. And you're not either. Don't you forget it. Because remember, all the attacks, it just wasn't one. It wasn't just two. It was like multiple and several. And because they trying to take you out, because they know by yourself alone, you know, you against them, they can't win. So you have been under attack. It just is what it is. So with that, just know how powerful you are, because it took more than one, more than two, more than three to take you out. Like, most of you have been attacked most of your life. And that's the same with me. Like, I felt depression before. I felt, you know, like I didn't want to be here. I didn't want to do this thing called life no more. And it was terrible. It was hateful. Like, it was no place for me to be, you know. But then I discovered my power. I discovered my purpose. And I love it. I love it here. And it used to be a time where I had to isolate myself to discover the power within, discover, you know, my true calling, my true abilities and stuff like that, because you get so overloaded with everybody else thoughts of you, everybody else opinion of you, everybody else wants of you. Like, if they want you to shut up, you want to shut up. If they want you to talk, you want to talk. If they want you to feel bad about yourself, you'll feel bad about yourself. It's not until you realize that you're in control of your own destiny and nobody else has control of your destiny. They may try to change it up, switch it up to make themselves feel better or more powerful. But in reality, nobody can take your power. Nobody can take your gifts. Nobody can take nothing from you unless you give it to them. And that's what you have to realize. We have free will. So you have the will to let people attack you. You have the will to let you be the brunt of the jokes. You have the free will to be attacked if you allow it. But if you speak against those things and say, look, don't come around me. I'm not your punching bag. You won't talk to me any kind of way. You won't treat me any kind of way. I'm not going to sit here and let you do me any kind of way. Then you start realizing people gotta listen. Like, they can only dish out what you let them dish out. So if you feel like, oh, wow, I'm being attacked, it's because you want to be attacked. Oh, I'm being left out, it's because you want to be left out. Now, you know, God, angels, and all this stuff really can't, including, the dark side, can't really mess with you unless you allow them to. They can't help you out of this darkness or out of this hole unless you ask them to. So if you're like, oh, I'm in this by myself and I don't have any help, so the angels can't help you. They'll just let you sit there and do your thing because you have what? Free will. The free will to get help from them or the free will to not get help from them. So if you're thinking you're by yourself, then you pretty much are. They may try to give you hints and clues like, we're here to help you. If you need us, we're here to help you. But it's not until you give the free will or ask for help from your angels or guides that help you through this world and help you navigate this world. If you want them to talk to you, give you guidance, or show you things that you need to see, need to hear, need to know, you could ask them and they will, because it's really a war out here. It's like good versus evil. And a lot of times the evil can take over because of all the darkness and the bad things that happen to you. And it could turn you dark. It can turn you very dark and bad, but it's up to you. Once again, do you want to go dark? Do you want to go bad? You can. If you want to go good, you want to go light, you can. Because like I said, free will, freedom of choice. Once again, if you want to sit there and wallow in your depression, you can. If you want to sit there and say, look, I'm powerful, I cannot be effed with, I cannot be messed with, I'm not the one to play with, then you're not going to be the one to play with. It's really up to you. And the people around you know that. That's why they attack you. That's why they ridicule you. That's why they make you feel inferior, because if you find out that it's more about what you want, then they can't control you. They can't laugh at you. They can't say, oh, well, he's unaware, she's unaware that I can't even do this unless they want me to do this, unless they let me do this. So it was a point in my life where I was losing friends. Didn't want to be around people. And sometimes it takes that, because when you don't have that outside influence, when you don't have that outside force, then it's hard to realize that things are more good and should be celebrated than not, because you're focused on the negative. You're focused on what you don't have or what you don't see, or how people are negatively talking to you and negatively affecting you. And that's the deal. Sometimes you got to have people away from you so you can realize, look, I got this. I can do this by myself. Like, I don't need you. I don't need your praise. I don't need your validation. I don't need you to tell me I'm beautiful. I don't need you to tell me I'm powerful. I don't need you to tell me anything, because I tell that to myself. Then I started talking to myself differently. Like, look, you that chick. You that big. Don't let nobody tell you no different. Like, don't let nobody play with you. They can try to play with you, but don't let them play with you. And then I realized, like, dang, like, they started listening. Like, people stopped playing with me. People stopped trying me. Now, don't get me wrong. You're not going to ever, officially have it stop. Now, it may become a point where they lessen up, but they're going to be always trying to be forces and people trying to take you down and make you feel a certain way, because we're at a war, spiritual war, good versus evil at all times. So you got to constantly stay prayed up. You got to constantly stay positive, because you don't want to turn dark. You don't want to turn vicious. It's a vicious cycle, and then people around you, which is why at one time I was not worried about people being around me. It's because they can turn dark too, and they can turn good too. It's so they could be used to attack you. They could be used to lift you up. And a lot of the times, yes, people will hurt you, people that you love dearly, but it's really not no fault of them. It's more so about you becoming the most powerful version of yourself. And they have to help break you down, because just like God can talk through angels, through people to talk to you. Same thing with darkness. They can use people to talk to you. So that's why sometimes people being around may not be what you desire. Just like how some people have to have millions of friends around them. Like, you can have friends around you and they can be good, once you're healed, once you know your abilities and what you're going to put up with, what you're not going to put up with. But if you're one of them people that got a lot of friends around and you haven't mastered your worth, you haven't mastered your power, your abilities to not let people just run over you, guess what? The people around you are going to run over you. They're going to talk about you. They're going to make you feel like you're a piece of nothing. And then what? Then you're just going to be without friends, because you're going to be like, I don't want to be around you. I don't want to be around you. But like I said, that's part of it. But you can't really take what they do personally, because they're on the same mission and warfare that you in. So it's like they're going to either use their abilities for light, they're going to use it for dark. So I've been even used to push a dark agenda. Like, I've broken people's heart before. I done talked crazy to people before based on my mood and what was inside of me. I could tear somebody to pieces easily, effortlessly. Like, I have a knack for it. Like, just like I can see the good in people, I can see the bad in people, and I can their whole life up by the words that come out of my mouth. So, I try to be mindful of how I talk to people and who I let around me and stuff like that, because just one wrong move, like I could be a bomb. But the same thing is, like, I'm also that person. I've been used to lift people up. I've been used to give people a helping hand. I've been used to give encouragement. I mean, it's nothing. If you're around me, I'm going to be complimenting you. I'm going to be positive. Like, girl, you got this. Boy, don't let nobody talk to you crazy. Like, I've always been that person too. But I'm just saying, I have been that person who has broken a person's spirit, broken a person's heart. Not really intentional at the time, unless it was just somebody I didn't want to be around. But at the moment, I just didn't want to be around them. And I let them know that in the most serious and ferociousness of ways, like, I need you gone. And yeah, it may have hurt their feelings, or yeah, it may have did this or whatever. But at the end of the day, I mean, somebody had to do it. So maybe that triggered their awakening. Maybe that triggered them to realize they need to depend more on themselves. Just like I've learned to depend more on myself. So just because you encounter something dark, it doesn't necessarily mean like, oh, nobody will ever love me. Nobody will ever care for me, because you'll feel that. But eventually they will. But sometimes that's like God or the universe telling you need to be by yourself. You don't need to be around nobody. You need to figure you out first, and then come back in the world and let's try this thing again. So that's what I had to do. I had to shelter myself. I had to, I was cut everybody off at one point. And I just started seeing things, started speaking life into my life, speaking positivity in my life, telling God what I wanted to see and what I did not want to see in my life. And that's what he started making show up in my life. But now, and it used to be a time I used to be afraid to be around people, because I seen people switch on me. I've seen people that were so innocent and nice just turn evil and wicked around me, because that's just how it works. Like I said, just like he can use a person to bring light into your life, the the devil, the darkness can also use a person to speak evil in your life. I'm talking about people that I would have gave the shirt off my back, just straight ripped it off my back. You know what I'm saying? Like, dang, I would have given it to you. But now, partner, let me rip it from your back and then take it and be like, what you gonna do about it? So what I'm saying is, I didn't want to be around people for a good minute. Now, I'm not really like afraid to be around people because I'm not going to let people hurt me in the same manner that they hurt me before. I'm not going to let people talk to me in the manner they talked to me before. And because I won't allow it, they're not going to be able to do it. And that's what you have to realize. You have that control of your life. Like I said, people can only do what you let them do. If you let them sit there and slap you every day, they're going to sit there and slap you every day. If you let them talk to you crazy every day, then they're going to talk crazy every day. I mean, who wouldn't? I mean, that's what they're supposed to do. But at the same time, they're teaching you a lesson. Like, you determine how I talk to you. You determine how I show up for you. Because you are in control. Nobody is in control of you, your life, what happens to you but you. So if a person comes to talk to you like, oh, you're going to fail. If you sit there and believe them that you're a failure, then you are. If you sit there and say, look, I'm not no failure. I know what you're talking about. You crazy, you delusional. Get that stuff away from me. Don't come to me like that. Then that's what it is. People are only have the control that you allow them to have in your life. And so as you grow spiritually, as you evolve, as you talk to God and you listen to his word and what he's telling you to do and how you are supposed to maneuver this life, you realize they only fudge with me so I can see the greatness in me. They only fudge with me so I can see the powerfulness in me. They only fudge with me so I can see that even by myself, I'm more powerful than you, all of y'all put together. You know what I'm saying? So, and they only fudge with me because by themselves they could not conquer me, but collectively they tried to conquer me and still failed and still could not succeed because they don't want to mess with me. You know what I'm saying? Like, you start seeing all of that and you be like, dang, if I knew what I knew now, I try to play me too. I try to take me down too. I try to take a chip or two off my shoulder too, because I ain't the one to be played with. I ain't the one to be laughed at. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I'm like a powerful mofo. Like you start realizing like, dang, like I had it like that all along and didn't even know it. And then I look back years back where I wanted to give up. I wanted to just roll over and be like, man, I can't do this. Or dang, nobody loves me. Nobody likes me. Everybody laughing at me. Everybody want to, talk down on me, talk crazy on me. Yeah, I would too, because guess what? Just look at where I am now. I'm a crazy mofo. I'm a most powerful mofo. I'm one of the mofos you want to play with. I'm one of the mofos that see my worth. I'm one of the mofos that gonna tell you how I feel. But it took a long time for me to get here. That's why I can say the things that I can say and speak on it. Like, I don't care what you think. And it took me a long time to not care. And that's one of the most powerful things that ever happened to me. Now I'm like, only God can judge me. It don't matter how you kiss my feet or how you talk about my feet, because you could never walk in the shoes that I walked in. You know what I'm saying? And so don't play with me. Don't try me, And of course they're going to try from time to time. And of course they're going to do whatever. But I learned to talk to myself differently. Like, you are powerful. You are amazing. Like, you're not to be played with. People can't try you like you think that they can or they're going to try to. So it's all about you being confident in yourself. Like me, then I can go in the crowd with like thousands of people and like it won't affect me because I feel like I can take on all of them at the same time. But like I said, it used to be a time where I want to be by myself. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm still a person, like, I still sometimes prefer to be by myself. But I'm at least at a point now to where I don't feel like I have to be by myself to be happy. Like, because I know nobody's going to play with me in the capacity they used to play with me in the past. I know nobody's going to, push me in a corner that I feel like I can't get out of anymore. And that makes me feel good. That makes me feel hopeful. When at first I felt like, dang, it's the end of the world, or it might as well be, because it's hard out here for a pimp. It's hard out here for a player. But now I'm like, man, forget y'all. It is what it is. You don't want to mess with me. You know what I'm saying? So all I'm saying is just don't give up. And the only reason you're getting played with is because people don't want you to realize your worth. They don't want you to see your power. And it's true. A lot of people will see the power in you before you see it in you. So you have to work through that thing so you can see it as well, and start seeing you the way people see you. Because guess what? If you was already broken down, nobody gonna sit there and try to break you down more. They're only gonna sit there and try to break you down if they feel like you are too high up, or you think you're better than them. So they're gonna try to knock you off that pedestal. So they already seeing you as higher up than them or more powerful than them. Because are you going to talk about somebody that you feel is like a bum on the street or worthless or down on their luck? Most of the time you're going to overlook those people because you're like, they don't have nothing on me. It's only a person who comes for another person if they feel like that person is a threat to them, or that person is more valuable than them, or that person could possibly overtake them or be competition for them. And that's the deal. People saw the power in me before I even see it. People saw the strength in me before I even seen it. And they tried to take it from me. They tried to debase me so I would not be better than them, more powerful than them, more successful than them, more of a threat to them. And that's how they saw me, as a threat. So they had to attack me. They had to ridicule me. They had to do all those things for me to see the wealth, the power, the prosperity, the love, the light, the powerfulness, the beauty, the strength inside of myself, the competition inside of myself that they had already seen. So once you start seeing life in a different perspective, you will get through it. Just don't give up. Yeah, you may talk bad on yourself for a minute, but don't stay that way. Talk love and light to yourself, because just like people will come and say things to you in your head, you'll hear thoughts that are negative, that are not pure, that are kind of dark. So you have to speak light into your life and seek positivity in your life, and just say, look, I am powerful. I am beautiful. I am that chick or that dude, and I don't want people playing with me. Like, you got to speak that into yourself. And then you're not going to be one to play with at all. Not at all.